Pressure is something we talk about often with the Mavericks. And in the NBA, there are a lot of teams trying to win games. The question is, what team has the most pressure this postseason? I'll go first. I think the team with the most pressure this postseason, unequivocally, is the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden has won an MVP, arguably could have had a second one. Joel Embiid has not went to the conference finals. Not only that, but the best team Joel Embiid has ever beat in the playoffs was the 48-win 2022 Toronto Raptors. That was a hopscotch playoff team. They were smoke and mirrors. They got the 48 wins, and they still took the 76ers to 6 games and spent missing half their starting lineup due to injuries. I know Embiid was hurt in the second series versus the Heat. Joel Embiid has no playoff resume. In 2019, he laid an egg against the Raptors. The year prior, things didn't work out too well in the second round versus the Celtics, largely due to Ben Simmons being exposed. 2020, they get swept by, who is it? Who they get swept? They got swept by the Celtics. So now you go to 2021. You go to the Hawks series. He's playing through a torn meniscus, playing through a knee injury. Ben Simmons lays an egg. Last year was the season where we thought with James Harden, things could click. Ultimately, Harden was still a little bit banged up. He didn't play well. He didn't come to play at the end of that Miami series. And we reach a point in 2023 where there are no excuses. James Harden is a 20-10 player. He is a former MVP. Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris even has had one of his better seasons. And PJ Tucker, that veteran leader you've lacked, is in the mix. D'Anthony Melton can make an all-defensive team with how well he's played this year. And the 76ers head coach in Doc Rivers has been fraudulent over the last decade in the playoffs. I think the team with the most pressure is not the Denver Nuggets or even the defending champion Golden State Warriors, the Boston Celtics. I think it has to be the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay, if this guy's going to win his first MVP, and the reason for it's going to be because, well, Jokic hasn't went anywhere in the postseason. Well, at least Jokic has went to the conference finals and will come back from multiple 3-1 leads. Where with Embiid, it's quite the opposite of resume.
Here's what I'll say. It's a close one. With your 76ers point, I see where you're coming from, and the pressure kind of gets mounted because he looks like he's going to be the odds-on favorite to win MVP, which is, I mean, we'll discuss that on Sunday, but they're the 3 seed right now in the East, and I honestly think if we're all looking at it objectively, the Sixers are the team that we look at, say, yeah, they're very good. They can beat some teams below them, but they're not competing with Boston and Milwaukee. So what that means to me is that they are fraudulent. They're not real contenders. In terms of the Nuggets, though, you're the number 1 seed in the West. Michael Porter Jr. is healthy. Excuse me. Jamal Murray's healthy. Aaron Gordon's healthy. Jokic is averaging damn near a triple-double. I think he's probably the most efficient player in basketball right now, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it depends on if you want to like consider a volume, and if you want to like add in.
That's why I said damn near close. Those other ones are not that good. So I look at the Nuggets. I look at John's over here flipping with the cameras. I look at the Nuggets, and I say Jokic probably has, to me, the most pressure to win a ring. It's close between him and Embiid. Guys like JB and or JT probably is going to look at as the more guy. I think before the season you would have said the Clippers, KD and stuff like that, Kawhi, but things have fallen in place. I just think it's Jokic. You got all the parts now. You're number 1 seed in the West. It's kind of time to get it done. I know there's deficiencies on the defense. I'm fully aware of it, but you are the number 1 seed in your conference. I think it's time to get it done.
Comfortably the number 1 seed.
Yeah, they'd have to lose. Yeah. They're in the catbird seat. 100%.
Romain?
The thing with Denver, I hate it with Denver right now because they have all this pressure to win. But I don't think people has watched that team enough to realize that Jokic's supporting cast is not as good as people want to make it seem. It really is not. Like, there's a very much reason why they had that slide early this year. There's a reason. the numbers are so inflated because he's on the roster. It's insane. But Jamal Murray, yes, he's a fringe all-star in certain sense, but right now, when I look at him, he's still not back to the level I saw back in like the bubble or like that year after the bubble where before he got injured and he was playing out of his mind. He's still not back to that yet. Michael Porter Jr., one of the greatest DHO players I've ever seen in my life. Put him on a dribble handoff, any screen, and give that man the opportunity to shoot, and he is lacing that every single time. But any other offensive sets, and he's a really good cutter. Really good cutter.
Yeah, good offensive.
Tell him to great off ball. Tell him to create his own offense. You're gonna see some shit. Tell him to guard somebody. You're gonna see some shit right now. And everybody else, KCP, again, he's flourishing because he has Jokic as the guy passing the ball. Aaron Gordon's having a career offensively because you have Jokic on the team.
But see, I agree with all your points. That's why they are looked at as the way they are, because Jokic is on the court. One thing that I love that is a quote is, be a star in your role. And I don't think anybody's going to ask Michael Porter Jr. to do the things that you're doing. I mean, defensively, they're going to.
But when you're the third best player on the team, but you can't get your own bucket, when you're the third option on offense, but you can't get your own bucket, that's a problem.
Tobias Harris can kind of get his own bucket.
Klay Thompson can get his own bucket if he wants to.
They don't use him. Listen, yes, okay, that's fine. But when you got AG too, and you've got Jamal Murray, and I agree with the Jamal Murray point. Is he back fully? No, it takes a year for him to get back to his place, and he's in that year. So next year I expect to be truly back. But I'm kind of honestly, the passes have been given. I think at this point it's time to cut the BS and cut the the passes. It's time to just shut up and play some basketball. And I know you don't want to hear that, but like let's go, man. You got a team.
I agree with that.
Does he have a great supporting? Does he have Boston? No. But that's unfair to compare to Boston because they're one of the best, deepest teams in NBA. Possibly. I mean, look at the roster they got. It's ridiculous, man. Yeah. It really is. But we're not
right now. When you look at him, he has maybe the. It's not even that he doesn't have a top 2 supporting. He has maybe the 5th or 6th best supporting cast, maybe 7th. Right now, Boston has a way better team outside of Jason Tatum. Milwaukee has a better team outside of Giannis. Cleveland has a better team outside of Donovan Mitchell.
Actually much closer, honestly. I think the Nuggets' depth is very similar to Cleveland.
Philadelphia has a better team. Philadelphia, yes. Yeah, Tyrese Maxey and James Harden clear Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. right now. Tobias Harris is on that Aaron Gordon level. DeAnthony Melton is on that KCP level.
Here's the thing. Doc Rivers doesn't use him in the way.
Mike Malone sucks. Mike Malone, I'm not going to say he sucks, but Mike Malone isn't that great of a head coach, though.
All right.
It's funny with Malone because Malone developed Jokic by giving him the keys, but he hasn't been the guy.
Then you became over-reliant on him.
He has not done a good job with the rotations. You know what, though?
I think he's been over-reliant. I think that, again, they've dealt with the injuries of the last 2 years. Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray have been injured.
Now, have you seen the Nuggets play? Have you seen the game?
Jamal Murray's still coming off an injury, so he doesn't look the same. And Michael Porter Jr. can't create his own offense.
Just saying right now. But that's what I'm saying. That's what my whole point is. The supporting cast isn't as great as it's supposed to be. Have you seen how they play when Jokic is out? And they play games with have you seen they're the best offense in the league with him on the court. They are the worst offense in the league when he is not on the court, and that's with Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr.
Obviously, you take the best player off any team, they're going to be completely different.
No, Take Jason Tatum off Boston, they're still great. Take Giannis off Milwaukee Bucks, they still make the playoff. Take Donovan Mitchell off the Cleveland Cavaliers, they are still a playoff team. Take Joel Embiid off that Philly team, they've went over 500 this season. Take KD off the Suns, they're still a playoff team. The Nuggets, you take Jokic off that roster, they are bottom 5 in this league.
They're 4-7 without him. The Bucks without Giannis are above 500. The 76ers without Embiid have almost won 10 games this year.